We got a great battle between two very good players. We got Zidgy as UEF, one of the best players in this game, across from Uber, who's Aeon, and Aeon should be very effective on this map with all this water. This map is a triangle. We got a bunch of civs, got free mass, and then free mass in the middle protected by PDs. Early on, you see Zidge has sent out an NG to get all this mass from the unprotected civs. You can see a whole bunch of flares coming in from Uber. They're going to go after this NG. On the other side, you see an ACU from Uber actually going after all this mass here. If we look at what Zidge is doing, he's just spamming air and P-gens. An NG from Zidge attempting to make a radar gets caught out by a bunch of flares, get killed. These flares roll through. We're going to go after some mass extractors. On the other side, we see Uber has cleaned up all the mass. We see T1 Air from Zidge has just done a circle around the map. The flares continue to roll through, take out unprotected mass extractors. This is coming up on minute 6. Zidge already has a gun in his ACU, and now he's getting 2-2 engineering. He's really stayed with the ACU at the base, which is pretty unusual. See a fight between mech marines and flares that mech marines take. And Uber at T1 ACU keeps on moving up, getting mass extractors. In terms of early mass extractors, Uber definitely has a huge advantage. However, Zidge chose to just tech at his base for a while. Now he's got a T2 ACU. He's built a T2 PD for protection at his base. It's a very powerful weapon at this point. You can see this T2 PD, he actually has two. Are going to protect his base very well from any kind of T1 threat. This is actually quite interesting to watch. Zidge has two factories, air and ground, and an ACU. And it looks like he's going to cut off his base here with a whole bunch of dragon teeth and a bunch of PD, and he's going to push with his ACU in the other direction. You see Uber's ACU is just sitting in the water getting upgrades. So Zidge definitely has air advantage and will roll with his ACU. T2 ACU can actually make radar unlike like T1. See, the gun's got nice range on it. So it got 3 kills. Uber has T2 on his ACU, gets out of the water and starts getting mass extractors back. Now we see Zidge decides to make a small base. He's going to make T2. He's got a whole bunch of T1 air to protect himself, but he has given up most of the map to Uber. You can see Uber has made a T2 PD of his own. It's going to really cut off Zidge from the rest of his base. And now we got a T2 versus T2 fight here that Uber has a pretty big advantage in because he's got shields already. So T2 PDs plus Zidge ACU are going to move in, and Zidge is going to lose quite a bit of health. He's got to run away now. He's got to dodge. That's what he's doing. And just gets out in time. He was down to the last shot. You can see Uber moving through. He's going to build so much T2 PD here that it's never going to be recaptured by Zidge. You actually see some missile launchers from Uber. Very good weapons versus T2. Zidge goes into the water. You see a nice T2 force, T2 gunship force from Zidge, protected by a whole bunch of T1 interceptors. We're going to take out these PDs, and the two ACUs walk by each other through the water. Nice to see mobile shields from Uber. We're going to really protect his ACU. See torpedo bombers, but these will not hit. You also see T2 flak, a very good weapon here. Perfect unit choice for Uber. Zidge decides to continue his assault, it seems. T2 gunships, however, he will run into a whole bunch of swift winds. T2 fighters from Aeon, these are very good, and these will wipe out T2 gunships in no time. You can see that right now. It's a very good play from Uber. See a whole bunch of torpedo bombers from Zidge. These should be careful. Zidge base is a nice fortress here. He's going basically all air. His factory has only made NGs, and now it looks like he's going to go T2 Naval, which is a pretty nice move given that Uber has absolutely no naval. We see some Harbies from Uber. These are going to really dominate ground. We also see some T3 Arty. It's also going to be very effective. So Zidge is going to have to take on some T3 units with his ACU. It's going to be a nice fight. It looks like the first unit that Zidge makes out of his naval factory is a cruiser. Nice AA plus bombardment. So this game is definitely not over, although Uberge has a pretty big advantage. Nice overcharge on a Harvey. Second overcharge, a big loss for Uber. The worst time to lose shields. Now you see this Arty is going to have to run away. The cruiser has been built. This guy has massive range. Can do a lot of bombardment. It looks like a shield belt. Cruiser plus a shield belt. It's a very good combo. You can see total air domination from Zidge, and a whole bunch of T3 already running away from Zidge's ACU. Still, most of the map is controlled by Uber. Now we see the Navy from Zidge moving through. We see the cruisers. The cruisers sending cruise missiles. These have very long range, and they're going to bombard everything around here, so a lot of TMD isn't going to be necessary. We actually see a T3 power generator from Uber, so Uber has a massive economy at this point. He has to protect that from the cruiser, however. We also see a destroyer. Uber's T3 army is climbing the hill. It's got shields, flak, Arty, T3 units. This is going to be a very bad situation for Zidge's base. See the bombardment. Now Zidge moves in with his ACU. It's not clear whether or not he'll be able to do much. You can see this is faster than his ACU. It's able to run away. So Zidge is going to get a lot of bombardment directly on his base. Good micro from Uber, staying out of reach of Zidge's ACU. You can see how powerful this UEF ACU is. It's just ridiculous. However, at this point it could be that Uber can almost take it on with all these units, but definitely with all his T1 included. On the other side we see the Navy, and we actually see restorers here. Resties have been nerfed a little bit, but they're still so powerful, and now it appears that a cruiser with a shield takes out 3 restorers. It's very nice to see. And now we see Zidge actually taking on the Harveys. He needs a lot of overcharges, and it looks like he was able to take down a few shields, but no kills. 23 kills for Zidge. Now we see all these Auroras going on ground. They might be able to get at this naval factory. Now you can see a loss. Only 2 destroyers from Zidge left, so the rest he's doing their job. However, these destroyers are going to do good bombardment. They got pretty good oh, we actually see some submarines from Uber. These are excellent versus UEF. I didn't even notice that. Oh yeah, how can I not notice that? We just see T2 subs from Uber. Perfect counter to UEF. Zidge continues to chase around T3 units. One nice thing to see now in the FAF, you actually see shipwrecks, and these UEF destroyers have really poor torpedoes and torpedo defense. So you see these submarines just get those kills, but we see quite a few wreckages here from Navy, and those are all pretty expensive. On the other side we see Zidge fighting a pretty large force all by himself, and it doesn't look good for him. So he gave a really nice fight, but really a turtle strat is you got to get lucky with it. And now Zidge is going to die. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. I did.